So you're probably not taking the right type of magnesium for your body. And I don't say that because you're doing something wrong, but because magnesium is one of the most confusing supplements out there. And this is what I see in clinical practice is that people will tell you just take magnesium like it's one thing. But in reality, different forms of magnesium do completely different things in the body. If you've ever taken magnesium and thought this didn't do anything for me or it made me feel weird, this video is going to make a lot of sense to you. I'm here to help you understand the root cause behind your symptoms using a deep integrative approach. And most importantly, how to actually choose the right tools for your body when it comes to magnesium. So in today's video, we're going to break down magnesium in a simple way. Why magnesium deficiency is so common, why different forms of magnesium exist, what each type actually does to the body, and how to choose the right magnesium for your unique needs. Let's talk about why magnesium matters so much. It is the one supplement that I recommend to all of my patients. So if there is one non-negotiable supplement that everyone should be on, it's magnesium. Magnesium is involved in over 300 biochemical reactions in the body. It plays a role in energy, muscle relaxation, nervous system regulation, sleep quality, blood sugar control, the stress response. So when magnesium is low or not getting into the right tissues, you just don't feel one symptom. You tend to feel a pattern of cumulative effect of fatigue, anxiety, poor sleep, headaches, muscle tension, even cravings. Now, you also have to realize our soil is so depleted and void of essential minerals, and magnesium tends to be one of them. So when you end up taking and finding the right magnesium for you, you notice a huge shift in your overall quality of life. So, why most people don't respond to the magnesium that they're taking is that the most important issue that they miss is that magnesium isn't just one single supplement. Different forms go to different parts of the body. So, when someone says, I tried magnesium and it didn't work, what they really mean is, I tried the wrong form that's not right for my symptom pattern. So let's do a brief overview of the main types of magnesium and what they do. So number one is going to be magnesium glycinate, which is the most popular. It's the most common and the best tolerated form. It is bound to glycine, an amino acid that has a calming effect on the nervous system. This form is best used for someone who has trouble sleeping, anxiety, a little bit of excessive amounts of stress, and they also feel a little overstimulated, or they're looking to have deeper sleep from, training hard and exercising, and they want to just have more of a relaxing effect. Now, with this form, I want you to realize is that a lot of the brands out there, they will claim that it's magnesium glycinate, but then if you read the back label, it will be a combination of some of the cheaper forms of magnesium like oxide or citrate plus glycinate. What I want you to look for is the true form of just magnesium glycinate. Otherwise, you're paying extra for the cheaper forms of magnesium that you don't need. What I see in clinical practice is the next form of magnesium that's very common and everyone thinks this is the right one for them. It's magnesium citrate. This form has a stronger effect on the digestive system. So magnesium citrate is great for constipation, sluggish digestion, and then occasional detox support just to make sure that things are moving. It can be strong for some people. So if you feel anxious, and you feel wired after having magnesium, make sure you're not taking the citrate form. It draws water to the bowels. I generally give it to my patients who have trouble with bowel movements. So keep in mind, this is not the version that you should be taking if you have regular bowel movements because it will just push more water to the bowels. Now let's talk about a form of magnesium that most people have not heard about. It's called magnesium malate. This is basically the form of magnesium that is involved in energy production and has a pathway through the mitochondria. The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. So when you support the mitochondria, it supports energy at the cellular level, and it tends to be more activating than sedating. So I recommend magnesium malate for my patients who tend to have a lot of muscle fatigue, who have a lot of low energy, or have a diagnosis like fibromyalgia or fibromyalgia-like symptoms. All right, now let's talk about magnesium threonate. Now, this one is my favorite magnesium if you have ruminating thoughts, and you're unable to sleep at night. So if your mind is in overdrive and you're overthinking, or you need some cognitive support, you wake up kind of wired and foggy, or you struggle with a bit of brain fog or memory loss, or even a loss of focus in your day-to-day life, I recommend magnesium threonate. Now this one can be the most pricier one, but it's definitely worth it because it does cross the blood-brain barrier, and that's why it helps with supporting cognitive function. So the important part of this video, or the reason I felt the need to put this video out, is the form of your magnesium matters more than the dose. So this is the part that most people miss. You can take a high dose of magnesium, but if it's not the right form for you and your symptoms, you may not feel much of a difference. In fact, you might even feel worse. You might feel side effects like bloating, fatigue, loose stools, or just feeling off in general. And it's not that the magnesium is not working, it's that the form needs to match the system you're trying to support, which is your unique biochemistry. So if you want a simple starting point, I always say start with magnesium glycinate. Make sure there's no additional added, in the fine print that there's oxide or citrate in the magnesium. Start with that. And then if you feel as though after watching this video again that you need to, maybe lower the anxiety, you're ruminating at night, you need the magnesium threonate, or you're having trouble with digestion, you're not having a regular bowel movement every day, then take the magnesium citrate. There's also magnesium oxide, which is what I recommend for patients who really are constipated and really need a lot of water to be pulled into the bowels. But that one is strictly for severe constipation. It doesn't really have a deep cellular level of absorption that helps to support recovery and just overall health. To wrap up this video, I really hope that it was informative to you and that you learned something. And this is me giving my feedback from working with thousands of patients in clinical practice, and not just reading PubMed journals and studies about what kind of magnesium you should be taking. Magnesium is one of the most underrated tools for metabolic and nervous system health, but only when it's used correctly. So the goal isn't to take more supplements. The goal is to take the right supplement for you and your goals and your lifestyle, and also the best quality. I always tell my patients, take the least amount of supplements, but of the best quality. And also look into the brand of the supplement that you are taking. Everybody can create a brand these days, slap a label on it, put a famous person on there as well. You need to do your research. Look for brands that spend more money on actually researching and refining their product as opposed to promoting their product. Well, my name is Dr. Khalil. I really hope this video was helpful for you. Follow for more information using a deep integrative approach.